Sup, buddies? I'm just gonna get right at it, honestly. Fuck it. You don't need an introduction. This is Coil. Big fan of Coil. This very, for those of you, out of the loop, very influential, dark wave, and, I would say very melancholic electronic outfit. Very prolific. They had a huge run spanning from like the early 80s to the about the mid 2000s, at which point in 2004 specifically they had to break up due to the unfortunate suicide rather, of one of their members, which was soon preceded with I believe a more naturally occurring death of the other member, which is frightfully unfortunate, and in part, this impacts collection of their material because there is hordes of fantastic material in their back catalog, but because the estates of the original creators are tossed around so flippantly that actually repressing these records and getting them out to the general public has become an increasingly difficult task, to the point where you can almost find nothing unless it's, got some fingerprints from someone else. So I only have 2 of their records right now. I intend to, get a fair chunk more when that becomes, readily accessible. But for the time being, this is a repress that I managed to get my hands on after a long ass time. This is The Ape of Naples. This is actually their last record as, their last non-posthumous release as Coil. And it's absolutely stunning. There's a lot of really engaging and very nuanced compositions that I think really showcase what the band was doing over their discography. I think that they incorporate a lot of really interesting information. If you like the xylophone, you're going to love this record because there's some really good grooves that they build upon with xylophone. So yeah, it's very somber and cold with this very faint hint of emotional fragility, I guess, at the very base of it all. It's something that I would absolutely recommend getting into because it's kind of fascinating in a way. And this is an alternative cover art, back, front. Actually, if you can see very faintly right in that little corner right there, that's what the original cover art was. So I'm not sure exactly why they decided to change it, but it's certainly fascinating. And they kind of mess around with that in the inner sleeve. Very thick pressing on this. And I believe, yeah, inner sleeves also kind of start to showcase this artwork, of which I'm not entirely aware. Some of it's just, old pictures, but it's very interesting material. And they did a good job with this pressing because, honestly, I would have had no idea how they'd get this done in the hands of, whoever is in charge of their stuff. But it's good that someone's looking up and saying, hey, this stuff needs to get out a little more, even though sometimes getting this back in the sleeve can be a huge pain in the dick. Still, good record. And another record I managed to pick up of theirs. This is very hard to put across because you can very faintly make out the actual lettering on this. This is Backwards. This is some material that they recorded around the late 90s with Trent Reznor, which is why this was able to get out as it did. It's got some really interesting stuff, especially for completists, which, as I said, kind of hard to do right now, but people that are, interested in the progression of the band, this is some really interesting material because it really, bridges a gap stylistically for them. So, good stuff. And, of course, very faint Very minimal design on this packaging, which I got no qualms with. So yeah. Next up, Cold World with Autumn. This is one of my favorite records of 2016. A bunch of them, actually. There was a lot of good material coming out that year. This is a German atmospheric black metal outfit who released their last record, the one prior to this, their freshman, I believe in 2008. So there was quite a big gap between these records, and while I don't think it's quite as good as Melancholy 2, their debut, this is still a fantastic development of what is a very popular sound in that black gaze kind of vein. It manages to combine elements of, that black metal shoegaze vibe that people are going for nowadays, blending it with slight tinges of classical, like neoclassical elements, not, super heavy-handed or anything, but still something that's very noticeable, especially in the lighter, interlude type segments of the track. And for a black metal release, this is perhaps one of the warmest you're going to hear. Like, this is, I think, even in its heavier passages, something that really draws you in and makes you, feel some way about it, I guess. And I think that someone that's a fan of like Death Heaven, or I mentioned Botanist before, and I don't know that that's a really good comparison for a lot of people, but people that enjoy that kind of black metal, I think, would really get into a record like this. And front, back, a nice little gatefold, and it comes with this really nice little book of photos and whatnot, but nothing super worth showing. And I got mine. A nice little white wax. Very pretty. Basic, but elegant. Yeah. Bit of a pain getting this, honestly, because they're from Germany and not super well known. But you gotta do what you gotta do, B. This is only got a little bit of converge. Why did I say that? A little bit of converge right now, but I plan to get more as time progresses, because these guys are a real good, classic mathcore, I guess, gold standard. This is their latest, their latest studio full length. All We Love, We Leave Behind. Coming out in 2012. Showed the band that still fucking slew. Lots of great stuff on here. And of course, did I show the gatefold? I didn't show the gatefold, guys. Of course, the gatefold showcases their classic art style, which is always very beautiful. And the wax itself is this nice little marbled blue-green with that same little Reaper type gal on the label. It is a double LP, but I'm not gonna show both of them because they're the same color. And yeah. And my other Converge, unfortunately not Jane Doe, hasn't been in the store when I've been around, but hey, that's alright. This is, wow, You Fail Me. You Fail Me. I believe this is actually the Redux, which sharpened up the production a little bit on it, which I was a fan of. And the packaging on this is really interesting because it like all folds out into living every day, dying every day. Yeah, yeah. But it all folds out into this really lengthy bit, and once you finally get into the record itself, it's just a black with a nice little white splash. Very simple, very to a point. This is one of their more concise records. And that's totally fine by me, because as long as it's good, it's good. Didn't really offer a whole lot. Yeah. There we go. Got it. Get it right. It's mathcore. Up a lot of more aggressive genres all in a row, so let's pull it back a bit. We got Cordy Barnett with, and this one's fair to get wrong. Sometimes I sit and think, and sometimes I just sit. One of those, slacker rock type records. I think that the writing on this was pretty interesting, and while there are some tracks that I feel are a little less gripping than others, I feel sometimes it sort of eases back into that sense of, nice, chill, laid back atmosphere that a lot of these records rely on. I think that some of the lyrics on this are still a saving grace, and the more raucous tracks, ones like Pedestrian at Best, are enough to hold it together and make it a record worth keeping up with. And some great tracks on this overall. I think Depreston is actually really, really engaging, despite being one of those slower tracks, as I mentioned. And the wax itself, nice little clear orange. Nothing too special about it. It's a very basic packaging, and if I get that, their sleeve showing the band and the lyrics and whatnot. Covering all the bases without wasting paper, I guess, on a lyric sheet, anything like that. So that's good. That's real good. Pardon me, my friends. Woo! The Cure with Disintegration. Very saccharine and lovely and heavy goth rock, sort of poppy music. And it took me a little while to get into this, I guess just because it was kind of it's very of its time. You can feel the era in which this music was birthed, but once I got over that and kind of just dug into it for what it was, fantastic record. Lots of great moments throughout, and the pressing on this is fucking thick as hell. Of course, you got, look at that fucking Evanescence ass pick. I imagine that Evanescence drew influence from them, so that's really not saying a whole lot. Yeah, we're gonna shoot through these real quick because we got a big record coming up. Actually, let's go with this one first. We got D'Angelo with Voodoo. Wow, it's amazing, heavy, very syrupy R&B. One of the I think founders of what I guess was modern R&B. R&B is going in a totally different direction now with the trap soul and the Frank Oceans, but I feel this record more than anything shaped the decade of R&B that would follow it, and absolutely set the bar. Don't think a whole lot of artists ever managed to surpass the level of pure neo-soul heavy emotion that comes out of this release. Fantastic material throughout. I think something of a classic, honestly. It's a double LP, but they didn't give me a gatefold, and came on white wax. Whew. Yeah, great record. Hopefully gonna pick up his earlier stuff because his material few and far between, but worthwhile in every sense of the word. For instance, his follow-up happened in 2014. That was 2000. I forgot to mention, I think. But Gentleman Vanguard with Black Messiah. Ooh, really mixes up the vocals on this one. It's kind of, it turns a lot of people off, but personally I have no problem with them at all. And this is just fucking so quirky and out there. I feel he really brought his music into the next decade and, again, brought together this fantastic, soulful record. He is someone that you should get into if you're, one of those R&B type dudes, because this is someone that made the genre what it is today. Ooh, very good, very good. Not even a huge R&B guy, but he still blows me away all the time. And looks like we're going to actually manage to sneak in another box set. Another box set. And this one. Fucking Daft Punk. This is their Alive box set. This has not only their famed classic Alive 2007 series on this, but also their less known, but still also very good, 1997 box set. I maybe should have held out, because maybe they're doing like a 2017 Alive, but, saw this at a good price, and it's limited, and it's great, and, I just had to pick it up for that. And I'll start by showing you what's inside. Ooh, this is actually really cool. I think that they, went above and beyond in offering what is absolutely a box set for fans. First of all, you got a little Daft Punk slip mat. Always nice little throw on there when you listen to anything of that nature. Little old recreation of the VIP pass from their 2007. And first thing, this is a brief little 12-inch containing their freaking, get off of there, their Encore set from 2017, which was relatively short. However, they decided to put it in because this is a really expensive and good-ass box set. But, get out of here, you. I am trying to show you off, my friend. There you are. Ugh. Bit sticky. Bit of a sticker. But, yeah. The lettering actually doesn't stay on, but it's cool. Is it coming through? It's not coming through well, but there is an etching of their Alive 2007 bit. Maybe. It's not coming through at all. I'm sorry, guys. I failed you. But got a little etching on the B side because why not sneak that in there, right? Right? And I think we're not going to cover all my Daft Punk stuff, so this will be like a bit of a cutoff. So, I don't know. Can't win them all. However, Alive 2007. The famed police. Whoa. That's fantastic. Looks great. Plays great. And, is it on color wax? I think it might be. I think they did all of it on. Yeah. So, nice. Similar white on that. And on the second disc, what do they got? It's also wet. I don't know why I forgot that. Yes, I haven't spun it in a while. But, yeah. Very nice. Very nice indeed. And, of course, a little less pomp and circumstance to it, but, yeah, the 1997 set, which I think underrated. There's still definitely some good material on this, and, the wax is something of like a light little gray, which totally isn't coming off distinct enough in the camera, unfortunately. But it is a notably different color with access to it, and just what's more to really add into the experience of the live set. They even put in this little snazzy photo book hardcover, and just a handful of live shots. Just to really give you an idea of what an experience that must have been. Because, dang, if I wasn't like, 12-ish, give or take. Couldn't really make my way out for it, unfortunately. But, yeah, I think that'll be my cutoff, sadly. We can, you know what, fuck it. We're gonna cut here and get the rest of my, deck. Finishing my Daft Punk before we go ahead with the rest of my stuff. This is going to be a little bit longer, sorry. Ooh, Discovery. Gotta get it. Gotta have it. One of their biggins. And, bit of a glossy finish, but on the inside, it's comparatively traditional matte, which is interesting. Very cool. Very nice to see. But, one of their most well-known releases to this day, staple of that French house genre that never really built into anything more than just Daft Punk. But hey, I'm not complaining. You? Daft Punk, making it quick, And then, also got Unknown Access Memories. Yeah. It took me such a long-ass time to fucking divorce, Get Lucky from a singles to a album track mindset, which was annoying for me because I don't think I've had that with any other record single ever. But yeah, once I got past that, which was weirdly a difficulty thing, but love this record. It's real good. It's very much in the same vein compositionally as what they did in their more electronically driven stuff, so I feel like with their incorporation of traditional instrumentation, they don't really lose a whole lot. It's a lot of the same vibes that you will get from a good old-fashioned Daft Punk record, and that's all I can really say about it. It's a lot of fun. If you like regular Daft Punk, you like this too. Trust me, you do. And yeah, front, back, gatefold. I like how they always work these really nice images into their gatefolds. Yeah, that's my cutoff, guys. Sorry. Well, I'm making them go a little longer than you can, but I just want to keep all of the artists into one. I don't want to, one artist to spill into two videos. So just keeping it like that.